done an unboxing video, and this is just a talk about the 5D Mark II and why I got it and why I like it. So this camera is a full frame camera, and there are a few options at the moment. You've got loads of the new ones come out. In terms of body, you can get away with quite basic bodies as long as you've got good lenses. So with this body, I've had this for about 3 years. Before this, I've still got the 550, which is what I'm recording this on. That's a Canon 550D. That's a crop sensor body. It's not the greatest and latest camera, but I still get amazing shots with it. Number of the catwalk photos I've taken has been with the 550 with the battery grip. You can see that in a separate video. I've got an unboxing of it, and I also talk about that camera. It's a great camera for a budget, because if you're new to photography and you're looking to get into it, that's the camera I would suggest to get. There are some newer versions which you can also get. Similar sensor in terms of the 600D, 650D, but you get the flip out screens and so on. Before the 550D, I had a 500D, and that was a similar camera. I only switched to the 550 because it's slightly better in terms of frame rate and video quality for videos. So I shouldn't have sold my first camera, but I did sell it, the 500D. It's been my longest camera I had. I've had it since 2002 and also took a lot of photos on that. So for now, if you're looking at a full frame camera and you're looking for something at a good price, especially because the newer lenses, newer bodies have come out, the 5D Mark II will serve you well. Full frame versus crop sensor, the main difference is going to be low light. So in terms of doing low light fashion catwalks, the main reason I pull out the 5D Mark II is if it's really low light and I'm looking to take a photo quite far away, so I'm using the 70-200 on there, for example. So I'll use this camera as opposed to the 500 because there is a noticeable difference at high ISOs. So I could shoot at this camera comfortably at 3200, whereas in the 550D there's quite a bit of noise present, and that's down to the size of the sensor. You'll see loads of videos on YouTube about that, so you can get more information. I may even make a separate video of a detailed breakdown. But if you are considering the 5D Mark II in this day and age, I would recommend it. It's got a lot of options that kind of make it a professional camera. So you've got the side flap here where you can plug in obviously the mic input. You've got a HDMI output. You can sync it, and it does take a CF card. So the CF card, which I don't have it, it's okay. The 550s take the SanDisk cards. So there'll be a difference. You'll have to buy more cards for this camera, obviously, because they're different. But yes, I don't think there's much more I can tell you about it. There's a big difference in terms of the menu and how you use it compared to the 550D, and the weight of it. It's a bit more weighty and heavy, and that's without the grip on, because currently I can only shoot really like that. I can shoot like that, but you can always miss it and not get exactly portrait, whereas a 550D, I've got the grip on there. So because I've got the grip, it actually lets me shoot portrait and landscape knowing that I'm dead on straight. Whereas with this, I've taken them in the past and they're slightly wonky, so in Lightroom you actually have to adjust them to get obviously the crop on them properly. I've got the 24-70 on there just to give you a comparison of size, and I'm hoping that helps someone there who's thinking about the 5D Mark II. It's an old camera, but it's still in the game. A lot of people still use them, and there's no reason to upgrade. I'd rather spend that money on a new lens and have an old body than keep updating old bodies, because a lot of the newer bodies now you can spend £1,600 on them, whereas this 5D Mark II you probably pick up a 600-700 quid and spend the remainder on a good lens, and you'll do a lot of good work. For all the work I've done, majority has been taken on a 550D, so if you consider that's a crop sensor body, it tells you all you need to know. But there you go.